It began with a boy in a bedroom, no glass skyscrapers, no billion-dollar hedge funds, no armies of analysts in tailored suits. Just a laptop, a flickering desk lamp, and the quiet hum of a suburban night. And yet, what he would do would shake the very heart of Wall Street. You see, when we think of Wall Street, we picture power, the roaring bell of the stock exchange, traders shouting in chaos, numbers dancing faster than the human eye can follow. It feels untouchable, unstoppable. But here's the thing. Every system, no matter how vast, has cracks. And sometimes all it takes is a teenager with curiosity sharp enough to slip through. His name? We'll call him Alex, 16 years old, a kid who loved puzzles more than parties. While his classmates spent nights scrolling TikTok or playing Fortnite, Alex had a different obsession. He wanted to understand money. Not the kind you keep in your wallet, but the kind that moves the world. At first, it was harmless curiosity. YouTube tutorials on how stocks work. Reddit threads with traders boasting of wins and licking their wounds. But slowly, something clicked in him. These weren't just numbers. They were stories. Stories of fear and greed, of patience and panic. Alex was hooked. By the time most kids were worrying about exams, he was dissecting trading apps like a surgeon. And that's when he noticed it. A quirk, a glitch, a hidden pathway inside the glossy world of finance. Imagine walking into a casino and realizing the roulette wheel has a slight tilt. The ball doesn't spin fairly, it leans. Subtle enough that no one notices. But if you're watching closely, really closely, you can see the pattern. That's what Alex found. It started with small trades, pocket change. $1 here, 5 there. But the results were uncanny. He wasn't just winning, he was winning in ways that shouldn't be possible. He had stumbled onto a loophole, the apps designed to make wall. The street labeled easy for beginners was actually full of leaking opportunities. Round-off errors, timing mismatches, delays in how prices updated by only milliseconds. For a normal person, these were invisible. For Alex, they were glaring. And this is where the story becomes complicated. Because once you notice the cracks in a system, you face a choice. Do you ignore them, or do you walk through? Alex chose to walk. The money started to pile up. At first, it felt like playing a video game, numbers climbing on a screen. But then real dollars landed in his account. Enough to buy sneakers, a new phone, and then much more. He wasn't just outsmarting his friends. He was outsmarting Wall Street. And Wall Street does not like to be outsmarted. Behind the scenes, alarms started flashing. Not sirens on the streets, but digital whispers in compliance offices. Why is this one account making trades that don't add up? Why is this kid winning when everyone else is losing? They didn't know his age. They didn't know his name. But they knew someone was bending the rules. Meanwhile, Alex felt the burden of a double life. By day, a quiet student, doodling in the margins of notebooks. By night, a shadow trader, skimming profits from billion-dollar firms without them even noticing. But here's the tragedy. Curiosity and brilliance can open doors, but greed has a way of pushing them wide open. One night, he pushed too far. Instead of a few $1,000s, he tried to stretch the system to hundreds of thousands. Suddenly, the game collapsed. The next morning, his account was frozen. Emails from the brokerage, then phone calls, and eventually, men in suits. Not traders, but investigators. Because in the eyes of Wall Street, this wasn't a kid playing smart. This was fraud, market manipulation, a crime. But here's the haunting part. Was it really? Experts still debate this to this day. On one side are financial veterans saying, rules are rules. He exploited flaws. He stole. He deserves punishment. On the other side, ethicists, technologists, even teachers saying, no, this was a child who saw what the adults couldn't. Instead of punishing him, shouldn't we ask why the cracks were there in the first place? The courts didn't see poetry in it. They saw numbers, and the numbers were big. Fines, restitution, a ban from trading platforms before he could even vote. But in the quiet of his bedroom, Alex didn't feel like a criminal. He felt like he'd glimpsed something bigger, the fragility of systems we all trust, the illusion of control that Wall Street projects, and the fact that sometimes truth comes not from power, but from a 16-year-old with a laptop. This isn't just Alex's story. It's a mirror. A reminder that our world runs on rules most of us don't see, until someone breaks them. Think about it. How many other cracks exist? In finance, in politics, in the systems we lean on, unquestioned, every single day. Alex vanished from the headlines as quickly as he appeared. He went back to school, back to algebra tests and cafeteria lunches. But he left a question hanging in the air, one that still lingers like a ghost. If one teenager can outsmart Wall Street, what does that say about Wall Street itself? Maybe the story isn't about a boy at all. Maybe it's about us. Our blind faith in the institutions that shape our lives, our willingness to believe that someone somewhere is in control. But the truth? Control is fragile, systems are flawed, and sometimes it takes a child to remind us. So the next time you hear about Wall Street, about billionaires, about power, remember Alex. Remember the bedroom light glowing past midnight, the quiet click of keys, and the question that no one in a skyscraper wanted to face. That maybe, just maybe, the emperor has no clothes. End.